Good morning. This is R.J. Stanchfield, also known as R.J., Ronan, Ron, Ronnie, and Scratch. These are all nicknames I've had. Oh, I'm adding R.J. Scratch also. That's become a nickname, and maybe because I'm signing off as R.J. Scratch on emails in the poker room. So we'll see how that catches on. And I answer to all of those. Or I don't answer to all of those if they're not so nice. But in any case, I'm here this morning to talk about how I'm writing the screenplay for The Odd Profession of Jeremy Scratch, my novel, which, by the way, isn't coming out until August or maybe end of July. It was supposed to be due in May 15th. That's what our agreement says. But because of the pandemic, um, the a lot of the entities that help produce books are either backlogged or closed. So I've been getting the book pushed off. Right now it's in July, I'm told. But that's only a few weeks away. So I don't know when, but it'll get out there soon. Okay. Um, so I'm already writing the screenplay. And the reason I'm writing the screenplay is I've been told um, I've written screenplays before, but I knew I had it produced ahead of time. So um, that's because I was the producer. And it worked, and it was for political action, anti-nuclear action. Okay, so now that said, and it's playing on this website that you're watching. It's Shadow Over the Island. Okay, but getting back to the subject, which is writing a screenplay, uh, I'm doing it this way, and I'm experimenting. I've basically taken the whole book, knew I was going to have certain I was going to keep away from the third. Uh, in the book, it has three different plot plans. In the screenplay, I can't afford a third plot plan, so I'm getting rid of everything there. So that's the first way to cut it down. Oh, the book will be over 400 pages. A screenplay for a movie is got to be about 120, at most 130 pages. Otherwise, the producers, directors, anyone interested, entrepreneurs or anybody, they won't even look at it if it's over 130 pages. Okay, so I got to basically bring down a book from 400 pages down to 120 pages, and I have to do it and keeping the essence of the book. Of course, your creative genes and genius should be able to move it in different directions, which I will. But I'm up to the second stage where I'm now, uh, I've cut away half the book and it's on schedule for being about 150 pages. I know that I'll be able to uh, go from 150 to 120 because that's maybe 1/5, and most things written can get much more than that if they do a really good edit. And I need good edits whenever I write because I'm not a great writer at all. Uh, again, I consider myself a good storyteller, but I'm still, after all these years of writing, and I've been writing for 50 years, I'm not a good writer. I'm just not. And, uh, and I know that. and it's fine. I'm fine with it. I live with it. And that also means that I better have extra cash to pay out to a good editor. I got the best there is for the odd profession of Jeremy Scratch. Um, and she's not yet known, but wait till you see this woman in the future. Her name is Mariah, and that's all I'm going to tell you. I don't have the right to tell you her last name. So anyway, Mariah is great. She did a good job. I'm pleased as could be with her. Oh, and by the way, technically she pronounces it. It's spelled Mariah, okay, but for some reason she pronounces it Maria. I'm not sure why, and I'm not going to go down that street with her. Okay, back to my screenplay. Uh, so I'm thinking about partnering with a an actress voiceover, and the reason being is I think that to sell a screenplay is a job into itself, and therefore what I'm going to do is try to get as much of the screenplay acted by as a voiceover this one person, and I'm not going to mention the name at all. This isn't set in stone, but we're working on it. It's a function if that person likes the screenplay, and I don't blame that person. Notice I kept it gender neutral. Okay, so let me tell you how I'm doing it. The key, I know all the actions that are going on, and I know the emotions. The emotions are really not the job of the writer of a screenplay, in my opinion. The emotions are for the actors, directors, as a team to bring that out. And what I think is one emotion that should be exerted, I would default certainly to the actor and the director. That's their mission. They need to do it. So I don't bother with the emotion. But I do know that where the action take is important. And the way I bring down the book is usually in my descriptions, it's all sorts of, poems, so to speak, or at least you try to make it poetic. But I don't do that. When it comes to the action, it's made with the fewest words, maybe not even a sentence. I feel free to just give the action in some form or another. And usually the fewer words I use, the better it is translated by the director and the other folks involved in the creative aspect of a movie. So I guess really what I'm saying in the final analysis is that you literally should write a book, or if you're going to write a screenplay, take the time to make it into a novel. Novels, okay, let's look at a concept here. Novels require many people to buy it, at $15, $18 a book. Movie scripts take one person to buy it. And that means the selling job is more important is really more important than a perfect writing job. And I'm thinking about how to promote this book, so how I can get it into the marketplace, how I can get the right team of director, producer, actor, and so forth. And I plan on being very involved in getting all of the above. In other words, I'm not arrogant, I'm old. You know, when you're old, you know things and you know you want to, I don't want to try to control the process, but I want to have an input to the process. So that's what I'm going to do with the screenplay once it's completed. I may do another blog more on the screenplay because I may have learned after this where I'm really trying hard to make it, publishable and and sellable. I don't have the one I did, which was for it's free. It's when you're an activist, you don't get paid. I mean, some do, but I never did, and I never cared about it. I did it out of commitment for the idea, commitment for the mission, as a writer does every time they pick up a pen and pencil or a computer or a word processor, what they use. Okay, so that's it. So this is RJ Scratch saying see you later, and thank you for listening, and see you. Okay, bye-bye.